generous squeezer of olive oil, about a quarter cup's worth. Then I'll add in 2 bags or 600 grams of frozen mirepoix, and then a strong pinch of salt. Until about a year ago, I had no idea that you could just buy pre-cut frozen soup vegetables. And since then, I've been keeping 3 to 4 bags of these in the freezer for just this type of occasion. These are quintessential speed scratch. Of course, you could just as easily chop some fresh veggies if you've got the time, but when you're sick or caring for another sick person, knife work feels like hard work, so I say cut the corner. Plus, an added benefit to frozen veggies is that they're softened slightly from the freezing process, and that speeds up the amount of time it takes to get them tender. Now, once I've got this stirred together, I'm going to fry it off for 1 to 2 minutes or until the veggies are thawed fully and starting to soften. Next, I'll add in 3 grams of garlic powder, 2 grams of ground black pepper, and then 1 to 2 grams of dried oregano. I use these spices to bring a whisper of Greekness to this soup because some of the best chicken soups of my life were the ones that I had in Greek diners in the upper Midwest. Now, I'll give this a quick stir to get everything combined, and I'll fry it off for another minute or so or until the oregano and garlic are smelling aromatic and the olive oil is starting to get infused. Next, to make this taste super chickeny in a very short period of time, I'm going to unapologetically add in 75 grams of roasted chicken bouillon. Specifically, I'm using Better Than Bouillon chicken base because it's pretty wholesome in terms of its ingredient label and it tastes a lot more like chicken than most other bouillon products. And right now, if you're thinking to yourself, hey Bri, bouillon is kind of cheating, right? Well, speed scratch cooking is all about practicality. On the weekend, when you've got 3 hours, sure, make the stock. And I'll actually link to a video in the description where I show you how to make a bang-in high-quality restaurant-style stock at home. But if it's Thursday and you're not feeling good, use bouillon. It tastes good. Speaking of stock, I'm gonna add in 2 boxes or roughly 2 kilos of store-bought chicken stock. This is really where the bouillon comes in handy because this stock is not that chickeny. And once it's stirred in, I'll add in 150 grams of orzo. Like I said, I like to make a vaguely Greek diner style chicken soup, and orzo is usually the starch of choice there. Alternatively, you could use rice for this soup, and one of my favorite speed scratch ingredients of all time is actually frozen rice. Not that cooking rice in a rice cooker is hard, but it does take 25 to 30 minutes of planning, and I want soup in 15 minutes or less. Another option here would be to use some crumbled up ramen noodles, but if I'm going that route instead of Greek style soup, I tend to go in the Asian direction with some fresh ginger, some soy sauce, and maybe a little bit of sesame oil. Now I'm gonna bring the stock up to a simmer and cook the orzo per package instructions. That's about 7 minutes. While that simmers, I'm gonna quickly cut some greens to add some nutrient density to this soup. I prefer to use Swiss chard here because it tastes awesome and it cooks quickly. And if you don't eat a lot of Swiss chard at the moment, what are you doing? Stop not eating Swiss chard. To prep mine, I just removed the stem from 3 to 4 large leaves, then sliced it into strips. From there, I'll dice the chard into very rough little squares that will fit on the end of a spoon. In total, for this soup, you're gonna need 150 grams of some type of green. If you don't have or don't like Swiss chard, try fresh spinach or even some fresh kale. Cutting the chard took about 2 minutes, and so that means the orzo has about 5 until it's ready. So at this point, I'll add in my chopped greens, stir them in, and cook them together with the orzo. I'll also lower the heat to medium low so that things don't get hammered while I sort out the last little bit of prep for this soup, the chicken. But first, let me quickly thank Native for sponsoring this video. I switched to Native about 4 to 5 years ago when I was looking for an aluminum-free deodorant that actually worked as advertised and went on smooth and dry like a good deodorant should. As a bonus, Native has a clean ingredient list. All their products are aluminum and paraben-free, plus vegan and cruelty-free. I always go for the classic scents like coconut vanilla, lavender rose, and my favorite, eucalyptus mint. But if you're into more niche smells, Native's new candy shop collection could be for you. They've got sweet cinnamon hearts that smell kind of like Red Hots and gummy bear flavors. I mean, scents. These are not food, don't eat them. Native also offers a plastic-free version of the deodorant using the same formula, just with more sustainable packaging. They also do a great lotion and body wash, which is actually in my regular rotation. I've got eucalyptus mint in the shower right now. 3 deodorants would normally cost you about $39, but if you use my link and code Lagerstrom, you'll get them for $26, which is over 33% savings. You can also get 20% off any body wash or lotion with my code. I'll drop that link in the description. Thank you, Native. For the chicken, I'm using one of the most classic speed scratch ingredients available to the home cook, the rotisserie chicken. Think about it. It tastes great, it's juicy, it's herby, and oh yeah, it's pre-cooked, so you don't have to cook it. That's the point. Plus, you can turn rotisserie meat into like 1,000 different dishes, and when you're short on time, it delivers huge dividends in terms of flavor. To prep this one for the soup, I just tore off some of the meat, about 450 grams worth, or just about a pound, and once I've got the meat off the carcass, I'll just rough chop it into something that resembles a medium dice. I like to keep the skin on because it's really well seasoned with herbs and salt, and it's been cooked forever, so any fat that would make it flabby has been fully rendered out. And if you don't have a rotisserie chicken, the other next best option that delivers flavorful meat easily and quickly is boneless, skinless chicken thighs. For soup, I'll just lay them out on a sheet tray and roast them hot at 450F for about 15 minutes. This way is slightly slower than just picking a rotisserie, but you do get some brown stuff stuck on the sheet tray that you can then deglaze to make the broth more chickeny. Back at the stove, after 7 to 8 minutes of cooking, this orzo is swollen and cooked just past al dente, and the Swiss chard is tender as well. So I'll add in the final additions. The first of which is 2 to 3 grams of turmeric. This is going to give the soup a signature nuclear yellow color. All good chicken soup should be very yellow. Next, I'll add in 150 grams of frozen peas and then all of my diced chicken. By the way, if you're using frozen rice or par-cooked rice, now would be the best time to add that in. Next, I'll jump in and stir everything to combine, and at this point, I'm over low heat and just looking to warm the chicken through and melt the peas. Oh, now, the final step here, as always, is to taste this broth for seasoning. A great soup can be totally lame without the right amount of salt, and I think this needs one more strong pinch. Finally, I'll move this over to a big boy bowl and then garnish it with a few sprigs of fresh dill, a strong pinch of black pepper, a squeezer of fresh green tasting olive oil to bring some luscious buttery bitterness, and then finally, to keep this kind of Greek, I'm gonna hit this soup with a strong dose of freshly squeezed lemon juice. That's gonna brighten things up and bring a little vitamin C to help win the fight against whatever ails you. You guys, this soup truly only took me 15 minutes to make start to finish. Look at these results. Thanks to the bouillon and heavy emphasis on mirepoix here, we have a surprisingly flavorful broth. The orzo, the veg, and the chard also bring a variety of interesting soft things for you to bite into. It's just a lot of comfort and flavor in one place for a very little amount of work. I'm hoping to make Speed Scratch into a recurring series on this channel, so if you liked this video or didn't like it, let me know what you thought down in the comments. I really hope you guys make this one soon, especially if you're not feeling good. Let's eat this thing! If you guys want to see another way to make rotisserie chicken into a delicious chicken soup, check out this video for chicken tortilla soup I made last year. See ya in the next one.